see you. Yes, it's Sunday. Yes, I said I wasn't going to go live today, but just wanted to call. Just wanted to check in on everybody, see how this day's going. It is Father's Day. I had a great morning. Am I live? Are you? Yeah. Had a great morning so far. My kids got up early, not earlier than me. I wake up early. I apologize, but I did wake up to some breakfast already brewing. So they did. A great way to start the day. Great card, pretty funny. Maybe I'll read some of it to you. But it was so far so good. It's been a great Father's Day. So I hope you dads out there are having a similar day. Those of you with your dads still around, hopefully you've given them a call and just tell them Happy Father's Day. Or even better yet, if you are in the same area. I know it's later.
There's something wrong with it.
Sound?
It's looping for some reason.
Oh. If there's anybody on here, let me know if the sound is good. You know, we always have some kind of problem with the sound. Hopefully not today. Doc, Gabriel, Doc, Turtle Swag, everybody. Good to see you. Again, I said I wasn't going to go on today, but just wanted to check in with all the dads. You see all the Father's Day stuff on social media. You know, the only social media I do really is this and LinkedIn, and there's a bunch of messages. Just want to check in on all you guys. Make sure that you did call your fathers if it still applies, and those of you that are dads, hope you're having a great day. Reading all the messages, I didn't do a special LinkedIn post about how great it is being a dad, but it absolutely is, and it's a wonderful way to spend Father's Day. Now 4 out of my 5 kids are working, so yep, I snuck away to do a little video with y'all and just say, hey, Semper Fi, my friends. So good to see y'all and welcome. I won't keep you late. I did Max Belts. Just want to let him know. Remember, I talked about it the other day. Was that yesterday or Wednesday? Again, no affiliation to Max Belts, but I did receive one for Father's Day. It's just not where I am right now because we're traveling. But I'll get it shortly, 48 hours maybe. Looking forward to that. So hopefully everybody has taken advantage of the veterans, supporting veterans. That's what that's all about. Max Belts, Arrow Resupply Coffee. Have some of that at home. Also waiting on that. All right, let me see some of the comments. Good to see y'all. 5x5s, good on you. I'm not having a great day. Gohan Tanaka. The kids didn't say anything to me. Well, one did. That was nice. Sorry to hear that, brother. Not sure. You know, everybody's different on how they celebrate this day. I like to think it should be every day. I'll tell you what my card said. The outside said, to the best boss. What does it say? It's in my book right there. I put it in my book. Have been enjoying my day. OG, streetcar, Ray, 1775, Semper Fi, my friend. True Patreon. Doc, Holiday. Just got back from Laughing, Nevada. Happy Father's Day. Gary Morton, another Patriot. Semper Fi, my friend. Patreon. Semper Fi, guys. Colt Reimer, what's up, Reimer? How you doing, brother? All right, here's my card. Just the inside says, Chala, good to see you, brother. To the boss of the family. That's right. That's what the card I received this morning. To the boss of the family. That's what I am, the boss of the family. Except I open it up and it says, whoops, sorry. Mother's Day was last month. Happy Father's Day anyway. Kind of messes that. We know the deal. We know who the real boss is. Gabriel, my uncle is an Iraqi veteran, doesn't want me in the army. I had a conversation with him today and he exploded. Hear him out, Gabriel. Talk to him, hear him out, put him on this channel. Let him talk about it. I don't want you in the army either. You should just join the Marine Corps. But seriously, hear him out. Don't go against anybody and rebel against. I'm going to join the army because you told me not to. Talk to him. Do some research. Help him do some research and find out what's best for you. Feliciano Ortiz, Matthew Askren, great card. That's not a great card. I'm the boss. Gary says, sorry, no, I don't get to see my family as they don't want anything to do with me. I'm telling you, everybody's life and situation is different. Kind of reason why I don't post on those Mother's Day, Father's Day. You don't know everyone's situation. So this is really more of a buddy check than anything else. So sorry to hear, Gary. We're your family. That's right. Right? Doc's got it right. That's right. We're the one that wears the pants in a relationship, but our woman just tells us what color to wear. Touche. Yes, absolutely. Noah, Ebra, good to see you. David Bryan, spread the word. Let's get the numbers up. I'm with you, David. Good looking out, brother. Appreciate you. That's it. Again, this is a buddy check. This is Sunday. You know, I like hanging out with y'all on Sundays. We're gonna do church later with my family, and then we're this is it. Checking in. Scott Clark, platoon 1033, 1972. Era. Kena says, hey, can you pray for Ashley? And Ashley and I have been trying for 5 years. We have set of identical twin sons that were stillborn 16 weeks. After, at least we got to hold them. Wow, brother, so sorry to hear. And absolutely, we'll do a prayer a little later before we sign out, but you'll continue to be in my prayers, both you and Ashley, and keep the faith, brother. Any memories of line training pre-MCMAP? Matthew Askren is asking. Line training, yes. One back, two back. That's really all I remember. One back, two back. This was 1 and 2. You throw it out there and you bring it back. One back, two back. In boot camp, we still had the whole ring for a little while, and then we dropped it to that little tiny ring. Still a good time. DI school was a whole lot of fun. Get to box with other DIs. But that's really all I remember of that line training. The one back, two back. I don't remember most of it. But as a DI, I remember helping them train for it. And it was nice. That's one of those times you're allowed to put your hands on the recruits to show them the moves, of course. That's what we were doing. Jay Lewis, Semper Fi brothers, happy Father's Day. Noah, praying for Keenan and Ashley. Yes, please, all of you, take a moment out of your day today and in the future to pray for Keenan and Ashley. Keep the faith, brother. All right. Rocco, I hope it's a real good question. Got a question. Can you answer this for me? I've been having trouble. No, that's right. We're here for you, Gary. Big Am says, what was my MOS? Started out, my MOS, guaranteed contract 03. And boot camp changed it to 1371. I didn't know the difference between the two. I tell you, my knowledge of the Marine Corps, zilch prior to going in. So I actually served as a 1371 combat engineer and stayed that way. A couple of additional MOSs, mountain leader, the McQuist, instructor, and then of course 0911 they call it now. DI used to be 8511, and then of course 8999, first sergeant major. So a couple of different MOSs. Primary MOS, however, was 1371 combat engineer. Engineers up, ERA. Elaborate my statement. TT, I missed it. Any life advice to get off my phone and finish meal prep? And Tony, 760. Man, phones are such a crutch nowadays. Any advice to get off my phone? What we did with our kids and our kids didn't get them till they got straight A's. We had no PED hours. PED hours or no PED? No PED. Personal electronic devices. So we would have times where it was no PED. Sundays, obviously the first half of the day was no PED hours. No personal electronic devices, excuse me, at all. They'd put them aside. And as parents, we would do it as well. So again, kids today, their communication skills suck because they don't talk to people anymore. Everything's a text. Their handwriting sucks, their spelling sucks, and their communication skills. So I don't know what level you're at But it's discipline. That's all it is. And now I'm at a point in my life where I love to not have my phone with me. When we all go to a restaurant, we do a phone stack. Everyone stacks their phone. We don't touch them while we're at family time, while we're doing stuff together. So you need to stop during mealtime. Put it where you can't reach it. Easy to say. Again, I enjoy times away from my phone. If we're swimming, we went to the beach the other day. It was just nice to be without it. So get used to that and then limit yourself. Put a timer on it. Say next 2 hours. When the timer goes off, that's when you can check your phone. Hope that helps. All comes down to discipline. How bad do you want to meal prep and do the things that you're supposed to do? Doc says, thanks for checking in. Out to dinner with family. I'll catch you on Wednesday. Semper Fi, Doc. Enjoy, brother. Happy Father's Day. Best chow hall you ever ate at? Marine Corps Base, Hawaii. Hope that shirt is up on the website. Doc's asking for the shirt. Doc, you noticed. This is my wife's favorite sticker and obviously shirt. So far, we don't have a supply of them yet. When can they expect this shirt? She gave me the Air Force salute. It's a prototype. So I'll let you know. I promise. I'll let you know soon. I love it. It's a great shirt. John McJunkin, good to see you, brother. Good evening. No, it says, of course, Gary, we are a brotherhood, and as iron sharpen irons, man will sharpen man. Hope you have a great day. Yes, Gary, again, we got you. You know that. We got your 6. Tony says, my communication skills aren't the worst, but I'm not as confident as I used to be. Thanks, man. I'll take that into account. Again, Tony, put him on the channel. Let him ask questions. Pathfinder, what are your thoughts on air crew? Why do you ask? I spent most of my time on the ground side. Here's my thoughts on air crew. And I'm very glad you asked that. I don't give them enough credit. So again, many deployments, many field operations. All I knew of the air side of the house was, God damn, why are they late picking us up again? Why are they dropping us off in the wrong LZ? So not a lot of good stuff to say about them. But I'll tell you, when you hear the freedom of those propellers coming to get you, love them. So love-hate relationship. And yes, they get to fly everywhere. They're not humping through. They're not getting rained on, snowed on. They're not going through the mud. But until I did time at the Marine Corps Air Station, which we went to yesterday, if any of you saw that live, and I apologize right now about that live, that was a test. We're growing in public. So a lot of learning lessons we learned. You either win or you learn, is what my wife says. And we learned a lot yesterday. Back to the air crew. So I received orders to the air station. It's called McCaff at the time, Marine Corps Air Facility. Brand new sergeant major. In fact, I was frocked. I wasn't even getting paid as a sergeant major yet. And they sent me to the air wing. It was Hawaii, so I wasn't turning that down. But I got there, and I'll be honest with all of you, I did lose my mind the first couple of days because, of course, as the new sergeant major, and Lieutenant Colonel was a commander, and our XO was an 05 Navy guy, commander. So we're chain of command because our ATC, our air traffic controllers, were all Navy. So a mixed unit, about 200 Marines and sailors, 180. So, of course, as the new guy, I want a formation with everybody. I can introduce myself, kind of give my vision, and just meet everybody. The first formation I had was about 60 Marines and about 10 sailors. Excuse me. I lost my mind. I'm like, where is everybody? We're not doing this until I have everybody. They're like, no, Sergeant Major, we can't. I got some crew rest and crew days. I'm like, nope, it doesn't work like it. Now, mind you, I just came from 2-5, 2 deployments with 2nd Battalion, 5th Marines, retreat hell. So I lost my mind, said, I want everybody out here right now. And luckily, again, I think I talked about him before, Master Sergeant Cat. Master Sergeant said, hey, Sergeant Major, let me talk to you for a minute. This is the air wing, and we're regulated by FAA, and there's the crew rest where they have to have a certain amount of time off, and crew days where they got days off. We got crews flying. We got maintenance guys that you can't interrupt. So it took me a while to understand all that. And I would go down and talk to the air crew and kind of ask them, like, what the hell do y'all do all day? And I just went around, went to the firefighters, the ARF guys, and just tried to learn as much about what these guys were doing as possible, which opened my eyes to a completely different thought process on the air wing in general. And y'all work your butts off. So much so, I think I told y'all about this too. I would mess with the air crew all the time. I know y'all ain't working. I know you do some cheesy stuff. You're walking around with their coveralls, half mast. You know what I'm talking about. So I said, why don't you join air crew? I was like, all right. They actually sent me to, and it was hard because they said, no, Sergeant Major can't go to load master school. That's what I became a load master. It's never been done. I said, well, is there a reason to say I cannot do it anywhere in any manual, any SOP, or any Marine Corps? They said no. So I went to school, a couple of different locations in Texas, and then after 500 hours, earned my air crew wings for loadmaster. And then I got to fly with these guys, and it's amazing what they do. Yes, they have some boondoggles where they spend some time. Sometimes that aircraft would break down in places like Thailand or the Philippines or Hawaii, and they'd have to spend an extra day or two, but they 100% worked their butts off. So sorry, I drug that out so far. My thoughts on air crew, I think those guys are amazing. The door gunners in combat, the ones that up at all kinds of hours of the night, had a lot of hairy transportation. I told you I was a helo company with 2.5, so we flew more missions than I don't even know how many. And they were all throughout the day and night, and they would pick us up whenever we asked them to. Sometimes, of course, it would be late. There's priority if we were in a hot LZ or not. So love them. Have not a thing bad to say about air crew ever. Sorry, I drug that out. There you go. Thanks for the info. I'd love to watch a video about air crew from your perspective. Awesome. That's a great topic right there. I don't even think I've done a short yet about air crew. Talked about the Air Force a little bit, which they work just as hard on the flight line. Excuse me. But yeah, awesome. Thanks, Pathfinder. Appreciate you. And is your icon, is that a picture of me on there? Just kidding. So what's everybody drinking tonight? Sunday night, Father's Day. Waiting for my kids to all get off work and come back home, spend some more time with them. Had a great breakfast, not all of them. Had a great breakfast, spam, Portuguese sausage, eggs, and rice. And some great coffee. Delicious. And then they all went to work, most of them. So now we're chilling, checking in with the crew. Let's see here. Just a demon lifting weights. Learned to respect the air after my tour with them as well, says Mark. What do you think of the lower standards? The rework? Did you mean standards? Ice-T, Water, David, Sisme. The rework in the military. Standards? Noah's drinking some water. Got to hop off date night with Ashley. Thank you for the prayers. America's Battalion or nothing. America's Battalion. Keenan, you guys enjoy yourself. Have fun. You were going to be in all of our prayers. I promise you, prayer works. Everyone, if you don't know, it works. So Keenan, you guys enjoy. Tell Ashley, Semper Fi, my friend, and we're with you. Enjoy yourself. Mass, I'm actually on a low-calorie diet to lose weight. All right? Diet. I'm not a big dieter. I don't know if you can tell. I like to eat, but I like to work out extra hard. Yes, the rework meant standards. All right, so what are my thoughts on the lowering of standards in the Marine Corps? Easy. I don't like it. Do I think change happens? Yes, and I think change is necessary. But here's my thoughts on any change for anybody. It's the process by which the change has been brought up, and then the decisions that are made to make that change or not. And it's not, this is my planning in the box. You got me started, rework. The planning in the box thing is horrific. When 2 or 3 people, or it doesn't matter, the number doesn't matter, but when those planners, those leaders in those positions plan without getting outside the box. And what I mean by outside the box is if you're a Marine Corps unit, the privates and PFCs, all the way through the entire chain of command. And I don't mean all 1,500 Marines, but a representative for those categories, E3 and below, NCOs, staff NCOs, officers, and the senior older guys, the warrant officers that nobody sees and they're mythical creatures. Get a sense of knowledge from them. Because when that top tier, those two people make a decision for the whole, they're not down there. They're not doing the things. They're not reaping the benefits or the failures of the decisions that they just made. That doesn't affect them up here, but it 100% affects this lowest worker to the highest worker. It could affect everybody. So the lowering of the standards, I don't think they get a good board of people making the decisions. And it could be within good intentions. Those leaders are thinking, sounds like a great plan to me. Bill, how about you, Joe? Yes, let's do it. No, more information. Take your time. The Marine Corps uniform changes. I like to use that as a great reference. And I don't know how long, but at least 10 years, we tested our camouflage, the MARPAT, the Marine Pattern Camouflage Utility Uniform, over 10 years with numerous times testing it. We didn't waste money on buying a new uniform. This looks great. Let's do it. Oh, no, we don't like it 2 years later. Let's spend another $1 billion to get a new one. So we took our time. We did the research. The Marine Corps had different units test them of, I'm guessing, all different MOSs. They gave us like 2 sets one time before deployment, test them out. And then when we got back, we filled out a questionnaire, what we liked and what we didn't like. So research. So the standards that are changing in the Marine Corps, not a whole lot of good ones, if you ask me. It seems like our standards are getting lower and lower. They should never change. Okay. All right. A little more on that. Best commanding officer that you ever worked alongside. Wow. Good one. The very best, again, at different levels. The best regimental commander I worked for, Chip Bierman, hands down, who went on to be a 3-star general later on in life. Battalion commanders, I've had a few. It's hard. I'll put it this way. I've never had a bad commander. And I'm blessed, lucky. I don't know how it is. I'm kind of an easygoing guy, so I can get along with anybody. But as long as it's, and I've had it out. I've had it out with 2 commanders. Hefe, Jeff Holt, we didn't always agree on everything, but we had a very successful tour of Afghanistan because we worked it out. We had that relationship. Had a bad platoon commander in Desert Storm, and he wasn't bad. He just brand new, out of college. He had a weird degree. Doesn't matter. I can't even think of his name. He left. They sent him out of Desert Storm. He didn't complete it with us. You remember his name? Not that we need to dime him out or anything, but he went in with that attitude of, I'm in charge. Exactly what they teach him in OCS. You're in charge. And he absolutely was 100% in charge. He was an interior decorator, was his degree. Didn't want to dime him out like that. Interior design or something. Doesn't matter. Whatever your degree's in, he made it through OCS, and he was now an engineer platoon commander, but he was not open-minded. He didn't want to take the advice of the ones who have done it. We have the experience. We don't have the college degree, but we have the experience, and he couldn't accept that. So everything was his way or not. And most of the time it was the wrong decision. So he just wasn't open-minded. That's why the system we have, all the military has, of the commander and the senior enlisted advisor, that is a beautiful, beautiful relationship when done right. And every single organization, I think, is vital if they have that. And it works. 2 senior enlisted and 2 commanders, it can. Statistics show, if you're a stats guy, look at it. 248 years the Marines have been doing it, and it's been working great. Matthew says, my class advisor at MOS school 20 years ago used to quote your guidance all the time as you mentored him and disciplined us. From when? Your class advisor 20 years ago? At MOS school. A little more info, Matthew. Hiram, good to see you, brother. I could be wrong, but I think the Marine Corps went to Marpet not to be associated with Osama bin Laden and Sierra Leone. Is that true? I didn't hear that. You made that up, Hiram. The old 3 ways of doing things. What are they, David? 3 ways of doing things. I know in my house it's my way, my wife's way, or my wife's way. John McJunkin, good to see you, brother. How has your children changed your perspective on life and your career? Wow. Great one, John. I tell you what. You know how they say, you know, the mama bear, if a kid is in trouble and you know, the mom's there, like, don't mess with mama. If mama, she'll kill you. It's the same for dads. So everything changes. Everything changed when I had a kid. One, just getting married. Now you got to be unselfish. And that's a little hard. You're 2 adults, so it's still selfishness sets in. Human beings are selfish people in general. But when you have a child, that selfishness is gone. Easy things. You only have money for me, my wife, and 1 child. We only have enough money at McDonald's for 2 of us to eat. Guess who's not eating? Eating, dad, right? Easy. Those are easy ones. But then anything, and that never stops. And it's not even a thought in your mind about it. Your number 1 is that child. And then number 2 child. And yes, I would take a bullet. I would kill for my kids. That feeling is not even something that you need to discuss. It's just that feeling in your heart that there is no way in hell I'd let anything happen to any of my kids. That's why this child trafficking, and I can't even, a thought of if that were to, you seen the movie Taken? That's Liam Neeson. That's how I'd be if one of my, I don't even want to say it out loud. So it changes everything. My hypervigilance, right? Yes, it's the Marine Corps and it's numerous deployments, but it's also protection and protecting my children. Anywhere I go, looking at everybody, looking at the exits, you're finding out what would be who I'm getting first to protect my kids. So that has completely changed. And even now, older kids, my kids are adults and they're on their own. But there's not a moment I don't think about their health, safety, and wellness. Happiness. All those things are a constant with children. Bradfield. Yes. Priscilla's dad, Michael Bradfield. Awesome Marine. Yes, our kids were best friends. Thanks for bringing them up. Bradfield, yes. Great family. Love those guys. All right, Gobi says, you a cop? I'm not a cop. I would love to be a cop. And had I not been a Marine, that was a couple things. If I wasn't going to be a Marine, it was a cop, a firefighter, or a mailman. Mailman? I mean, Okinawa. Mark says, just disappeared. Mark, the rework says, when I get married, I'm not letting my wife tell me what to do. No disrespect, but that's just me. Yeah, check back in with us later, rework, and we'll see how that happens. I wear the pants in the family. Like, who said that? She just tells me which ones to wear. It's not about I'm a man and I do what I want. It's about the mutual respect. And the saying is true. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So it's nothing like that. What's up, McKay? Looking at my hairline? Bald. The rework. It's probably not a good idea to get married then, because being married is about being a team. Good on you, Noah. It is. Rework. I don't know how old you are, but it sounds like a young teenage thing to say, but it's completely different. It's not that you're getting punked out because your wife tells you what to do. It's a team thing. Good call, Noah. Right? Even Gary Morris. Good luck on that. McKay, bald by choice, buddy. Jared, a real man doesn't tell his woman what to do. Honored, Jared, good to see you, brother. If it's a team, then I'm the captain. Rework. Check back in with this once you get married. Good on you. Just take care of her. Protect her. That's what a good captain does. You rock that hard bald Sarmage. Mace Windu. Appreciate you. Any interaction with Mattis or General Kelly? I haven't, not personally, no. General Mattis or General Kelly, not directly, no, but obviously under their command in one or two different deployments, but not directly. No, I wish. Would love to have met General Mattis and worked for him directly. Anderson Ho, got my back. Just means it's an aerodynamic dude that has smooth flow. I'm bald by choice. I do shave my head. I have hair. Here's when I started shaving it. One, as a young Marine, I would wait in line like everybody else, and it cost money, and I didn't have a lot of money. I got married, then my wife did it a couple of times. It'd usually end up in an argument. It was always perfect, but I would ask her if she could fix this, and didn't work out real well. I'd try to do it myself, and a couple of times on ship, and your buddies do it, the barracks haircut and all that mess. It wasn't until I was in DI school. And at DI school, again, I was spending 100% of my time getting ready to be a drill instructor. So I was studying, drilling, PTing. Ran out of time. Oh, crap, I got to get in line with the other 100 DI students to get a haircut with 2 barbers, and it just took forever. So when I went back to the barracks and just shaved my head with the buzzers, so it was still kind of short. And that was before being bald was cool. Even my first song was like, what the hell did you do? You shaved your head? Grow it back. I'm like, right now, first song, you want to grow it back right now? Try to grow it back. He was pissed. He said, what are you, a skinhead? Again, this was before bald was the norm. So I had to let it grow out a little bit, and then I ended up shaving it again because I didn't want to wait a lot. So ever since I was a drill instructor, I've been shaving it ever since. Now, of course, I bick it, and it takes time, saves money. I don't need to wait in line. I don't need to spend money on shampoo. It's time management is what it is. All right, we got any? Where you at, JTB? Handle these idiots on here. Early 80s, we weren't allowed to shave our heads. I'm telling you. So the first time I did it, I got in trouble. You're not authorized to do that. It says, I don't know who knows what it says now for the uniform regulations, but you cannot shave it to the scalp. Excuse me. That's why the first couple of times I just used clippers, and then it just became acceptable. And now tons of people shave their head now. Funky Unk and Kellen, are you on active duty? I am retired. Funky Unk and Kellen. John says, as a former drill instructor and senior drill instructor, NCO and senior NCO, was there a time you had to help a Marine out like a dad with advice, more discipline, or counseling? 100% yes, John. Throughout my entire career, that's why my wife always says you should look at work as an HRO somewhere, because that is part of your job. And specifically even as a company gunny, as a first sergeant and a sergeant major, that's what you're dealing with all the time. You're the morale and welfare of the unit. So as dads, as parents, as children, as siblings, if your Marine doesn't have his or her life in order, it's going to affect the mission. So yes, do you know their favorite color of everyone? Maybe not, but you should. Little things like that are important to know. You're getting ready to go on a mission. Everyone's set to go, locked and loaded. The kits are ready. And someone lost a pet or something bad happened at home, fight with their spouse. They lost some money. The car broke down. Something is going on in that Marine's head. You need to know that he is on top of his game before you go on a critical mission. So Has there been life advice throughout my service? Absolutely. As I have received the same type of advice and mentorship. So 100%, John, great question. Jared says, when I was at Quantico, General Krulak told me I needed a man, it just disappeared. Rework says, look, Sergeant Major, I understand the responsibility of being a captain, but I don't want someone who is physically weaker than me tell me what to do. And that goes for men and women. All right, Rework, write all this down. Take notes. And judging by your picture, you look pretty young, and that's a great mindset to have. Just be open-minded when you do go into that relationship. You can be co-captains, right? No one's gonna dog you because, oh man, your wife just yelled at you. Ooh, you're busted. Yeah, what'd you do to make her yell at you? She shouldn't be yelling at you. I'm getting yelled at right now from my wife because of you, Rework. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. And don't go in there with that attitude or it's not going to work out. When you find that right person, it's going to be smooth sailing as long as you're both open-minded. It is a team effort. Man, that's a good one. I'm probably going to be arguing about it later. Just kidding. But again, once again, everyone just checking in and so glad so many of you are here. Buddy check. Everyone's looking good. Some great Rework said, sorry. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to my wife. Just kidding. Noah says, marriage isn't a boxing match. It's about strength. Good on you. Great conversation, Rework. Appreciate you. Here it says, Charles Chandler Krulak, the CMC. Wow. That going back about 25 years. General Krulak, again, did I meet Krulak? I don't know if I did or not. Matthew says, Matthew Askren, did you read the DI book, The Few, The Proud by Larry Smith? The original DI? The DI book, The Few, The Proud by Larry Smith. I did not. Read the old one, with the old movie, The DI, with, what's the name? Webb. Gabriel, God bless you, brother. Rework. Jared, what was Miss Sergeant Major prior service? She is a military brat, believe it or not, from our shipmates, the Navy. Her dad was a senior chief in the Navy, 28 years. 28 years. And she swore off all military men in her life until she met this Marine right here. And the rest, as they say, is history. 35 years later. So she's been holding down the fort. Jared said, General Krulak was not at Quantico very long, but I don't know why. When he was commandant, okay, you remember what years he was commandant? I don't remember where I was when. Yeah, General Krulak. Was that when I was in Okinawa? John says, Sergeant Major, were there things you learned from your dad or father-in-law that was of help to both you as a Marine and as a dad yourself? Yes, my dad was one of the hardest workers I know. Man, a few words, but I knew deep down inside he had my back, all of us. I'm the youngest of 5. I knew he had our back, no doubt, never questioned it. I saw it in action a few times when he thought we needed his help. Instantly, he would have dropped everything and anything, and he did. A quick, easy story. I played football growing up, and I was real small in Pee-wees. My first year, I didn't play a single play. Not a game. I didn't play a single play. That's how small I was. He would show up to every game with a bunch of Hershey bars and a thing of honey, and I'd have to eat it all just to make weight. But every game he was there. Wasn't at every practice because he worked 2 different jobs. He was a real hard worker. I didn't play a game, and of course, I'm not too proud to admit it, cried after a couple of those games where I didn't even get to step on the field. he was at a game and saw that I didn't play a single, and he saw how it hurt me. And he asked, do you want to play next year, the following season? I said, yes, I do. A couple games go by, still didn't play yet. So I saw him have a conversation with the coach. Seemed to be a one-way conversation between my coach and the dad, my dad doing all the talking. My dad leaves the very next game. Cece, you're going in. I'm like, going in where? You're a lineman. Get on the line. I was on defense still. And then my whole career, I was a defensive lineman. Put me on the line, couple plays. And I got in because I was the smallest one. So I just went in between legs. Remember my first tackle of the quarterback, ran in, was around his legs. I was like, yeah, see, should have been putting me in a long time. But the play was still going. I look up and the quarterback with me on his legs, still kind of looking around. See, throws the ball and I'm still down there trying to bring him down. Point is, that's the kind of things that my dad would do. If something hurt us physically or mentally or in any way, he was there for me. And that's, again, I brought that to my life and my kids. Same thing. Anything in the world for any of them. Father-in-law is a hard worker as well. And when he retired, he was able to do the job that he did in the Navy as a retiree. So again, work ethic. He recently retired, so he had been working a very long time. So work ethic, if nothing else, from both of them. Appreciate the question, John. That was great. Jay Rogers, what it do, boss? How goes the war called life? Semper Fi, my friend. Thanks for joining us, Rogers. This is what we're doing right now. Just a buddy check, just seeing how everyone is. Again, it's Sunday, it's Father's Day. I said I wasn't going to do a live today, but I just wanted to see how everyone was doing. Appreciate you being here with us. The rework, that's a better question, brother. Still on that white thing? What's my favorite cut of steak and how do you like it cooked? I don't know what my favorite cut is. I don't know enough about all the cuts. I do like a good thick 10 ounce, 12 ounce. I even got, after the Murph a couple weekends ago, I got a 20 ounce. Was it 20 ounce? 18 ounce steak. I couldn't even finish the whole thing. I was a little embarrassed to say. Delmonico. Good Delmonico cut. I do like it medium well. I like it a little pink. Medium rare, not medium well, medium rare. So not the rarest. I like it just a little above that. Little blood, maybe. Getting ready to go to Texas, where I am going to get some brisket and some steak. Texas Roadhouse. Delicious. And I don't put anything on it either. Any interactions with Sergeant Major Drip Parsons? I know A. Parsons. I don't know Drip as a first name. The same Parsons I'm thinking of? As a dad, would you want to impart to your children that you can say, this is what I learned from my dad? Absolutely. Oh, I do 100% of the time. I would say things that my dad had said to us. It wasn't a whole lot. My dad, and you can start judging me right now, my dad never spanked any of us. It wasn't because we didn't do bad things, but he would take us into the garage. He was a boxer. He was a Golden Gloves guy. He was about 6 feet, thin, and all muscle, 5'10". He's not 6 foot, 5'10". He's a giant to me. You know what I mean? But my wife is saying he wasn't 6 feet. He's built like a brick. Thin, but strong as hell. Forearms, working. And he would take us into the garage and he would give us some boxing lessons. One, he wanted us all to box like he was a boxer, Golden Gloves, what have you. But that was our, come to find out, it depended on the lesson, depended on if he was upset with us or not, because of what, if me and two of the boys in my family, we gotten to some stuff, right? We were teenage boys running the streets. So we got into a little bit of trouble, and even in school. But he would take us in the garage and teach us how to box. Now, whether we bled or not, whether he was upset or not, but learned some great lessons on how to box. So appreciate all that. Never spanked us. Didn't have a whip, didn't have a sandal. the slipper, didn't have a spoon, all that stuff that I hear things about. Do I think kids need to be beat? If they need it, 100%. Yeah, I'm not against beating your kids if they screw up, but it was all about discipline. Never disrespected him, never disrespected my mom. It was never a problem. Rogers, 24-ounce porterhouse cooked medium rare is amazing. We buy beef in bulk, and it's so much better than mass-produced chow. Where do you get that from? Give us the details, Rogers. 24 ounces, harder to finish at my age. I'm with you, Jared. I'm with you. I got a buddy, God rest him. God bless him. He's not with us anymore. Great guy, family guy. We refereed together. He was an LDO major by the time he retired. Great guy. And I was about 10 years younger than him or so, about 10 years. And we referee a whole bunch of soccer games. And in the evening, we go all eat together. And I'd just be putting away some food, just killing it. Whatever it was, eat the leftovers from the kids because I could do it. And he would watch me. And he would eat his half a meal and be good. And he was 42 at the time. I remember it specifically. He gave me the brief of like, do it while you can now, Bubba. You're not going to be able to eat like that forever. I'm like, what are you talking about? You going to finish that? And finish all his food, just killing it. And he'd say, trust me, you're not going to be able to do that forever, Bubba. And sure enough, at the Murph, after it, when we went to Texas Roadhouse, I got that 20-ounce, whatever it was, had a bone in it. It was delicious. In fact, I put a picture of it on the community page, didn't I? Or you? Anyhow, I couldn't finish it. I was a little embarrassed. And all I could think of was Carl telling me, better do it while you can now, Bubba. You're not going to be able to do it forever. I'm at that point. So, 24 ounce, whoo, I'd have to be ready for that. Nevada. Okay, I see Rogers in Nevada. Good to know. We should. I'm not a big cook either, but I would like to. Been hunting the first couple of times in my life. Actually, deer. I got a bunch of deer meat. I'm not real sure how to cook it all, but I love to try all kinds of steaks. Bone-in ribeye, T-bone, porterhouse. It was a bone-in ribeye. That's what I had after the Murph. That was good. We raised our own pork and beef just last winter, says Jared. We bought it, didn't raise it. Reworked, say again. Whole cows, $2.89 a pound for whole cows. How much a cow weigh? 1,000 pounds? Do we cut out? Stephen Bates, happy Father's Day to our SDI. Was that your SDI, Stephen Bates? Hurrah. 7 for 5, my friend. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Hope you're having a great day. Tomahawk, what's that? John says, oh, the tomahawk. Maybe that's what I had. No, I don't even know what I had that day. Dad wasn't a Golden Gloves boxing champ, but he did teach me about throwing the right cross, one of which landed my jaw and laid me out cold. Never upset him after that. Here's what my dad would say every single time. He said, okay, I'm just, again, man, a few words. Go ahead and lace him up, meet me in the garage. Oh, man, that was just a bad feeling. So we'd go in the garage, we'd lace up, we'd get ready, doing each other's raps, kind of spar with each other, get in the mood, strengthen our necks up. And he'd come out 100% of the time and say, I won't hit you in the face. So it felt good. Going into it, we started boxing and give us a couple kidney shots. And I don't know if he got excited or something that we did kind of reminded him of something. And we'd take a couple shots to the face. And I'm a bleeder. So I'd bleed all over the garage and have to clean it up after. But it was teaching us the discipline, the defense, the offense, all the important parts about boxing. And again, can't thank him enough today for that. Rogers packed 874 pounds, double wrap and vacuum sealed. 874 pounds. That's a lot of meat. Gunner Sharp, coffee, era. Michael's Drones, RCs and knives. Semper Fi, my friend. Welcome. Rework's dad bought a half a cow and stored it in cuts in the deep freezer. Got so big that summer. That red meat, good for you. Chicken. I like to eat chicken too. Love chicken. Steer here is about $1.75 a pound on the hoof. Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about all kinds of different things, but it is Father's Day. What did y'all do today for Father's Day? I had an amazing one already. Woke up to some Spam, Portuguese sausage, eggs, rice, and a funny card. Let me share the card with all of y'all who hasn't seen it yet. Card for my kids. To the boss of our family. That's right. I'm the boss. I opened up and says, whoops, sorry. Mother's Day was last month. Happy Father's Day anyway. Show them that. And boom, look at that. Can you see that? I gotta put my hand behind it. Delicious. The best toffee coated macadamia nuts in the land. Delicious. Also part of my gifts. Let's see how it looks. Michael's Drones. Yes, I'm still traveling in Hawaii. And for lunch, we just had a poke bowl. Spicy ahi poke bowl. Love the food here. Good God, it's hard. I'm going to have to work out extra hard very soon. Semper Fi, John, appreciate you, brother. Not only an honorable Marine veteran, but an honorable dad, too. All right. Thank you, brother. And happy Father's Day to you. And I can tell to our interactions here how you work with the cadets. Same. Blessed to have you on the channel and in our community. Frisbee with my American Labrador Retriever. Guns. Great way to spend the day. Roger's packing for a 2,900-mile road trip for the family. We're celebrating 15 years of marriage, 3 kids. That was my Father's Day. Awesome. Beautiful. Road trips with the family. We did it one time coast to coast when my middle daughter graduated Paris Island, San Diego. Paris, MCRD, Paris Island. We flew to her graduation, rented a big old SUV, and drove from coast to coast to 4 or 5 days. Beautiful. Road trips with the family, Rogers, lucky. All right. Yes. Oahu. Yes, we're on Oahu. A little more time. Rough Cat. Dropping in to wish you a happy Father's Day. Hope you're enjoying the summer. Back at you, Rough Cat. Thanks for joining us. Again, this is a see what everyone's doing on this beautiful day, Father's Day. Buddy check. Those of you who, again, fathers have passed, you don't have a relationship with your father anymore, we're here for you as well. Everybody, this is a community of like-minded people. Give me some gold dad advice on getting through overthinking. Wow, Gabe. Overthinking. My overthinker over there says, sometimes you just got to do it. And that's with me. I don't overthink too much, to be honest with you. She just said, you don't think. I'm an action guy. I'm an execution guy. So I don't. Are there times that, crap, I wish I would have thought about that a little more? Sure. But I certainly don't ever overthink things because I want to execute. I'm impatient. And I remember growing up, my mom's friends, oh my God, look at your son. He's so patient. He's just sitting there. I was just sitting there going freaking crazy because I wanted to do something. So that has later in life, I'm an action guy. I got to go. I got to do it. So stopping and overthinking, like going shopping. I'm going to get the first things I see. I'm going to spend 5 minutes in the store and get 10 items. My wife will spend an hour in the same store and get 2 items because she's researching, she's thinking about what would be best and planning, and it's a great way to do it. I don't have the patience for that. So what would my advice be on overthinking? Sometimes you just got to do it. Or Nike says it, just do it. And then evaluate the outcome. See, did it work out the way you expected it to? That would be my advice. Who? I miss Chicken. Chicken, you're here. Come back up, Chicken. I was rambling on about something. I was just doing it. Action, execution. Yeah, there's biggest. All right. Good on you. Action, execute, 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 execute. And then when too much thinking comes involved, you miss an opportunity. So make it happen. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, even in the civilian life. As long as after all that, there is execution. That's why I had been dealing with something the past couple of years of zero execution. A lot of talk and a lot of planning, but no execution. Big Daddy says, but that's me. Any advice for workouts for boot camp? Should I prioritize running, jogging over lifting weights, or prioritize both? Great question. And I am going to do a video about that specifically because I keep saying be in shape. And you need to be in shape. That's a fact, right? We're talking about how to be a guide. Well, the guide, first of all, you can be the best leader in the world, but if you fall out of a run carrying the guide on, you ain't going to be the guide. So physical fitness is highly important. It's all about overall endurance. You take 2 PFTs, and remember the PFT in boot camp, one in the IST is easy. That's 1.5 miles, max pull-ups, max, I'm guessing now it's planks. So just physically fit to pass it. In boot camp, you'll get enough exercise. You get thrashed all the time. You get IT'd all the time. So overall endurance. So you don't need to be big and huge and going to boot camp. You need to have endurance. So cardio. I would do massive amount of pull-ups and run as much as you can. Do some run, pull, run. Poosey poos, push-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups. Poo, poo. And then go for a run. You don't want to fall out in any run in boot camp. You fall out, then you're going to be put on remedial PT. If you fail the IST, the initial strength test, you're going to be dropped before you even go to your training platoon. So be as physically fit as possible. Lay off the weights until you get into boot camp or until you get in the Marine Corps. Then you figure out the system. And I did both throughout. I get in these modes of running, and I love to run. I'm a bad example because I just love to run no matter what size I am. But I also want to hit the weights as much as possible. So if you could do both, then do both. John says, appreciate your kind words coming from you. I'm telling you, John, appreciate you, brother, 100%. Did you ever meet generals who wore utility? General Gray. Yes, I met General Gray when I first came in. My roommate had painted that cup, that camouflage cup that he's so famous for holding in pictures. And at the time, I called my roommate a kiss butt, but it was wrong. He got a meet and greet with General Gray. Awesome. And I was a young man. I was a private PFC. I didn't know much about what the commandant did at the time, but I think he did well. Dirt bikes and guns in the desert, awesome. I concur. Got dropped as a Poolee. What'd you do? Biggest? Get dropped as a Poolee. Oh, I thought you got dropped as a Poolee. Yes, go to. We talked about that last time. As a Poolee, once you sign up and your recruiting station has Poolee functions, go to every single one of them. The more you know before you go to boot camp, again, the better. There's Chicken. Yes, Anderson Ho, the hit. Definitely high intensity training. Do you have some dead hang pull-up? Do you some dead hang pull-ups, push-ups, cardio? Don't neglect the muscles between your ears either. And strong mindset and positive mental attitude will help get you through it. Yes. I don't want to steal everything from a video I'm going to do later, but my daughter and I are two completely different. We're very alike. But going into the Marine Corps, we're completely different aspects of the realm of being a Marine. I didn't know anything about the Marine Corps. I didn't know really the difference between the services. I had obviously been talking to the Marine recruiter for months before I actually signed up. So I knew more about the Marines than anything else, but I still didn't know what happened even after boot camp. Had no idea. Visited the other recruiters. They knew it was a waste of time. They said, just join the Marine Corps. Had an uncle in the Army, didn't talk about it. He had bad PTSD, didn't talk about it till later on in my Marine Corps career, but I knew nothing about it. Get to boot camp, still completely lost, but it's like I got tired of being yelled at. It's just, why is everybody so angry? Why are they all yelling at me? What's the purpose of all this? And I kind of just figured it out. Like, hey, if I were to yell loud and run fast and do everything they tell me to do with intensity, I'll be all right. And I kind of got everyone else to do it. That's what got me recognized. I went to 1 or 2 Poolee functions, so I knew my left from right. I knew how to do some facing movements, stand up position of attention, and wow, they'll stop yelling at me if I do this. Figured it out and started helping everyone else out who wasn't being able to, or just wasn't getting it. And became the guide and ended up graduating as a guide. My daughter, on the other hand, she lived with me her entire life and then did JROTC 4 years, all 4 years of her high school. So she knew everything there was that you need to know about being a Marine prior to going. I told you she painted or wrote the general orders on her ceiling. So every night before she went to bed, the general orders, the Marines hymn, code of conduct, studied that every night. PT stud. So she went to boot camp. I knew even before she went. I didn't say it. I didn't want to jinx anything, but I knew she was going to graduate as guide. Platoon guide at least, maybe series honor man. She ended up graduating as the company honor man at RET. But again, 2 completely different entrances into the Marine Corps, and we're both guys. So her and I are going to do a video on how to become guide. I didn't know anything going in. She knew everything. So interesting how it works out. Aaron, it just disappeared, buddy. I missed it. Oh, he's one of those. Jared, these dadgum trolls. Oh, thanks, Jared. Aaron. They're funny. So Major, my role of these JROTC cadets is transportation support and feeding them from the military kitchen, which I bought after I retired to keep them active. Awesome. John, keep it up, brother. You're definitely a role model for them. And I'm sure your mentorship alone, being there for them and giving back is absolutely making an impact on them. Appreciate you. Biggest said, did a 50-yard dash into admin due to coolers at 8th and I Street. Sergeant Major Kent and General, who was with Sergeant Major Kent, they came out to Afghanistan when we were out there. I think it was the first sergeant when Sergeant Major Kent was the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Came and spoke to all the staff NCOs in Afghanistan. I think we're going through a change of trying to change. I think it was the time they were trying to change the evening dress for the enlisted. If we wanted the enlisted evening dress to match the officers. And it was 99.9% against it. The enlisted did not want to change our evening dress. If you know which one, it's that tuxedo looking one. It kind of looked like a waiter, but it's awesome. It's comfortable. No belt. It's an amazing uniform. For some reason, somebody again got it in their head that they should be the same. Officer 1 looks cool as well. But every single staff NCO I talked to was against it. So it never happened. It didn't change. So that's an example of a great working group to decide the outcome. Talk to the people who it's going to affect. Too many leaders don't do that. They get an idea in their mind and they just make a change because I'm in charge now. Nope. Talk to the people who it's going to affect. Rework. Who's the tallest guy you ever saw in boot camp? Here's a good story for you. In boot camp, I was the guide. I don't remember what phase of training were you in, but thought I was pretty squared away, getting somewhere at a PT session. I think we might have been 3rd phase because we were walking around like we were badass Marines already. We weren't there yet, but we had attitude. And a 1st phase platoon is marching by. I think we're at the PT field. A 1st phase, and of course we're looking and we're laughing. Ha, you look so nasty. Their drill instructor, we're still recruits, so their drill instructor came and just wore us out for even looking at it. Don't you get your eyeballs off my boys. You're nasty. And he came to me as the guy, you better control what's the matter with you? Yes, sir. He said, you think you're tough, guy? Of course. I said, yes, sir. You think you're tough? I said, yes, sir. You think you can whoop my guy's ass? Is what he asked me. I said, yes, sir. He said, wait here. I'll be right back. This guide or a drill instructor who was short, comes back with his guide. He was like holding him by his wrist and looking up at him. And he says, look at my guide. You think you can take him? Of course, I still said yes. I didn't think he wasn't going to have us fight. But this was the biggest dude I've ever seen in my life. Turns out he was a prior NFL player, Houston Oilers lineman that got cut from the team for whatever reason. And now he was in Marine Corps boot camp. His dream, if he couldn't be an NFL player, wanted to be a Marine. Never saw him after that, but I was like, wow, this dude was huge. I hope he did well. I hope he graduated and is a United States Marine. I don't know how tall he was, though, but he was a big dude. Jared says, still do a 3-day war training in Pendleton? Wise up, 786. I'll get back to you, Jared. Have you ever bumped into Celebrity Incognito at boot camp? No, it was the boxer who wanted to be a Marine before he fought Tyson. Yeah, I can't remember. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, this dude at a boxing match, when the Marine Color Guard came out and they did the national anthem, the Marine Color Guard was walking off the boxing ring. Evander Holyfield? No. You'll know. My wife's going to look it up right now. He stopped the color guard, color sergeant, said, hey, come to my hotel room after the boxing match. And I knew the recruiter. He was a recruiter at the time. That's how I know the story. I wasn't there. But he knew the recruit. I knew the recruiter. The boxer told him to come up, and he did. He went up to his hotel room after the fight, and he said, I want to be a Marine. My next fight's going to be with Mike Tyson. I want to be a Marine before I fight Mike Tyson. Riddick Bowe. It was Riddick Bowe. So Riddick Bowe enlists in the Marine Corps, goes to boot camp. He didn't finish, and don't quote me on the entire story, but I knew his drill instructors. And he had to, sign a waiver that he couldn't do hand-to-hand combat. It wasn't McMap training yet, but he couldn't do the line training, nor could he box because of his professional boxing relationship, and he would kill somebody. But there's a problem with this contract. He wanted to be non-deployable 100% of his time as a Marine. And that's just something the Marine Corps wasn't willing to budge with. If you're a Marine 24/7. If you got to deploy, you'll deploy. So he didn't finish out his boot. I don't even think he finished boot camp. He could have, physically and mentally, I'm sure. I don't know Riddick Bowe, but he did pull out because of that. He couldn't get a contract that said he would, because he didn't want to be away from the boxing world. 11 days? Oh, he only did 11 days. Paris Island. That's why. If he'd went to San Diego, I would have whooped his ass. But I had not. Jared said the 3-day war showed us leadership, lack thereof, just speaking of execution on the battle plans. 3-day war in boot camp? Is that what you're talking about, Jared? Because I do remember some night training, some 3 days. It's probably that's what the Crucible replaced. So that I'm sure it's similar about execution because you got to make it happen. Steven Romero, I did more pull-ups than my senior DI, so I got IT'd for 2 hours after. Who is? Joe? Well, let's see if Joe can come back up and give us an update. Jared says 6:40. Oh, someone asked what time is it in our country? Depends on where you are, all different places. We were, how tall are you? I'm 6 foot. 6 foot, 240 pounds, maybe. 1841. Jenny. Joe. Hey, Joe, update, brother. What you got? Fill us in. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Perfect timing. We are doing buddy checks right now. Good to see everyone. Give us an update if you got it, Joe. Let us know how everything is. I'm hydrating. A little juice. Got a little protein powder in here. Best AR for civilians. I like the M4s. Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you, brother. I'm telling you, it's not me. It's all of us. This is a community that we're building. Okay, we do have bigger plans with this that we're going to start sharing a little more. But this is a community that we are trying to build of this. Everyone that's in here right now. Salty Saxy, good to see you, brother. Be talking soon. Currently hydrating with pre-workout. Got a little pre-workout, a little protein in here. Good to see you. Joe, all right, at home recovering from my surgery in a ton of pain, but hey, Marines are strong. Also, no good news on future going forward. It's spread. I will require surgery down the road. Man, so not good. Joe, we're going to keep you in our prayers. Hang tough with the pain and even the surgery down the road, brother. Again, all of us on this community, please put a prayer in for Joe as well. Right, we got Lindsay and Ashley. Joe, add Joe to your list of prayers tonight before you rack out. Just however and whenever you talk to God, please, Joe, we got you, brother. We are here for you. We got your back. Whatever we can do, and again, join our lives and update us when you can. But 100% prayers up for you. Prayers work, and God has a plan. Know that. Absolutely, Joe. We got you. Rework 6'3". That's it. How much you weigh? Rework. Daniel Defense worth the money. CJ Johnson is Daniel Defense worth the money. I don't know what that is. Wyndham is average, decent price. I got a Wyndham hunting rifle. Love it. 300 Win Mag. Thanks, Gary. Yeah. And Rogers, yes. Thank you, guys, all of you. I'm telling you, prayer works. 100%. Biggest is only 0311 in the recruit training, MCRD, Ghost Platoon. Drill instructors were weak. That happens. No offense. Even made a phone call. Pay phone at 2 in.the. Pendleton second phase. That happens all the time. Recruits find those phones. Sorry to hear your DIs were weak, but again, the Marines have our 10% as well. I wish they weren't. Wish we didn't, but that's just a fact of reality. But you're a Marine, so hopefully you're not weak, ever. Jerry says my oldest boy is 30 years old and 6'10". Man, you can still take him though, right? My dad let me know as I grew taller and thicker than him. He reminded me all the time he could drop a bomb on me anytime he wanted, and I believed it his entire life. No way I'd ever challenge my dad. Noah, thanks, brother. Praying for Joe. John, with you, me, and Iron Mike Tyson all around the same age, any chance if I were to be your corner, you might step in the ring with Tyson? I 100% would step into the ring with Tyson, and I'd give it everything I got, knowing in the back of my head he was going to destroy me. But my confidence in bearing, I would step in the ring, and it's still an ultimate goal of mine. I'll wait. Look, my producer's leaving the room right now. I want to step into a cage match with anybody. I just don't want them to wrap me up and put me in a move. I want to fight somebody. I just want to fight in the ring. I want to get that feeling of walking in the cage and having them slam that door behind me, and only one of us is walking out of there. I might get beat down. I might last in MMA 1 fight or 10 fights. You never know. Or maybe even a half a fight. I may even have the quickest record for the quickest being knocked out. It doesn't matter. I want to have that feeling of stepping into that ring. And then game on. So one day, we'll see. Gary, 6'3" and 270. All right. Man, big boys. Jared says only 180, but you can still take your son. I know it. Roger's down 58 pounds in 5 months. Man, brother. 200 pounds, 6 foot. Rework, 18, 6'3", get married. Your wife's going to whoop your, you know what? Just kidding. Don't get started. Smokers, they don't have the smokers anymore. Someone just asked about the smokers. They don't, and it was phased out when I went to boot camp because I guess there was a death. For whatever reason, it wasn't somebody didn't beat someone to death, but it was an accident. Somebody died. They stopped the smokers in the full-size ring. They still had the boxing ring when I was at MCRD San Diego, but they moved it from the big ring to a ring about the size of two people and not a lot of room. There ain't no haymakers, and you can't really fight in there, but it's just to teach you how to protect yourself, how to throw punches, but no smokers. Jerry went to boot camp 142 and came out 200 pounds. I gained weight in boot camp. It was muscle. Gained muscle from being thrashed all the time. Sorry, your family already abandoned you before the fight. It can't be a good sign. Maybe they know something I don't know. They better be in my corner. Yeah, she said, make sure your SGLI is paid up, because if I don't come back, somebody's getting the money. Jared, that's what I'm talking about. Damn right I can take my boy. Yeah, no matter what. Rework is 18 years old, 5'9", 165. 165. That's respectable. Put some meat on them bones before you go to boot camp. Birdman, 19, 5'7", and 130. Put some meat on them bones. Gehendra, yeah, Birdman, you're enlisted already? Poolee? You had any gaining weight suggestions? I talked a little bit about it. Rework says, I'm a scrappy fellow. I talked a little bit about gaining weight before. And I had a trainer in Okinawa when I was actually training to put on bulk and size on a regimen and actually 2 days in the gym, training for a bodybuilding show. And this trainer kind of took me under his wing, an old Japanese dude who was Mr. Far East a couple of times. He knew what he was doing. Had some gigantic legs. Him and his buddy were training me. And he said, you got to eat more. You got to eat more. You got to eat more. And I would eat more. And I thought it had to be all clean in the beginning. He said, nope, just eat. Eat as much as you can all the time. You're American. You celebrate Thanksgiving? I said, yes, sir. He said, eat like that. Eat every meal like it's Thanksgiving. You have to be uncomfortably full. Because I never forget that he kept saying that, because at Thanksgiving, remember, you get uncomfortable. You get uncomfortably full. You're like, well, you're going to wear sweats or undo your button just to make some room. He said, you got to feel like that every meal. So I'm going to get fat. He said, yes, you are. You're going to put on some fat as well. But once we start to work it off, it all disappear. So I trusted him. I believed him, and I did. That part was fun in the beginning until I had to eat to be uncomfortably full. It's not easy. It was difficult. In times I didn't want to eat, he'd say, finish that, finish that. He would bring food because he knew I wasn't eating enough. So I did. I got up to about 255, 260, which for 6 foot is pretty big. I had a belly, but once we started working it, again, now we're doing 2 a days. Now we're shredding all that extra fat into muscle. So from 260, I got down to about 240, 230. I even competed at like 200 something because we shredded it all up. So when you see bodybuilders in the off season, they look fat. Don't call them fat because they're not. They're bulking up is what I like to call it. So right now I'm bulking up. We got a little belly. I'm not training for anything. I'm just bulking up. So eat as much as you can. I was drinking the protein shakes. I was eating a lot of meat, a lot of chicken, a lot of fish, tuna fish, to try and put on that protein. Carbohydrates, very important, because even when I was working out hard, I had to get more carbohydrates. So I was doing 2 a days. Mornings was all lifting, heavy weights, and then the evening was abs and cardio. We're doing thousands of crunches and different exercise for your abs. Riding a bike was my cardio. I was big, so I couldn't run. I wanted to save my knees. So it was the bike, treadmill, walking, and thousands of ab workouts. So gaining size, Noah, you nailed it. Eat. And then once you're at a weight that you're comfortable with, then you start cutting it off. It's not about the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size of the fight in the dog era. Birdman, Roger says, congratulations on your future endeavors. Get after it. Noah says, best decision he ever made. Concur, 100%. All right, Father's Day. John says, how about some advice for these younger dads out there? Be there. As Marines, I was deployed a lot. One of the comments on my card from one of my daughters, she said, it's hard work being the fun parent. As funny as that is, it's also a contention point at times, because here's my thought process. I'm gone. I'm on deployments. I'm in the field. I'm traveling. When I come home, God bless my wife for instilling the discipline in my kids. A lot of my kids' friends think, oh, your dad's a Marine. I bet he at home, he's the hammer, and you got to do this, and you're online, and you're making your rack 45 degrees. None of that. I didn't do any of that. And luckily, we have good kids. My wife has done an amazing job on the kids, and it wasn't because of me instilling the Marine discipline on my kids. It was a mutual understanding is that I'm not going to be here for that long. I'm probably going to deploy again soon. I'm probably going to go into the field again soon. I don't have a lot of time. I didn't want to spend my short amount of time at home disciplining in them. But I did spend my time at home with my kids. Never took work home. Pretty proud to say that I didn't bring work home. This was obviously before cell phones. It was easy, so no one was calling me at the middle of the night. As a first sergeant and sergeant major, we did get the midnight calls. Someone's in jail. You got to go pick them up. But when I was at home, I was present at home with my kids, spending time, giving them attention. So it definitely is a be present. You have daughters, be there. If you're not the man in their life, they're going to find someone else who is going to be the man in their life. So dad, be that man in your daughter's life. Fathers of sons, make them men. Turn them into men. Soft age right now. And I don't know if it's just me and my wife that notice it, but kids are a whole lot softer nowadays. Turn them into men. And it doesn't mean you have to whoop their ass all the time. Teach them how to be men. Man up when it's time to man up. Birdman said a lot of his buddies ship out tomorrow. I wish I was with them. Your time will come, Birdman. Write to your buddies, right? Have them write to you and let them know what to expect. But good luck to all of them. Tell them here at SFMF, we wish them the best of luck. Never quit or give up. They're trying to make you a Marine. Around. Biggest, hope to see you in the field again. Birdman. Never rush to good things. Prepare and be the best recruit you can be. Great advice. Did he say soft? Soft. Society. Kids getting soft. Going to the Marine Corps basic in about a month. What's the toughest part? Says Blitz. The toughest part of boot camp depends on who you are and how prepared you are. If you're physically fit, that's not going to be a challenge. For a lot of recruits, a lot of Poolees, a lot of young kids, the physical fitness part is the toughest because you're unprepared. Excuse me. The mental aspect, being yelled at 24/7, culture shock. You don't know why these people are yelling at you and why they hate you so much. They're just trying to train you, right? Trying to strip all your bad habits and create new, better ones. Homesickness is huge, and it's only 3 months. I don't know if it's just easy for me to say now, but it's 3 months. It's nothing. It's this much of your life. 3 months is nothing. So homesickness, again, I'm afraid I wasn't, when I was a drone instructor, again, no cell phones. That's a crutch, such a bad crutch nowadays. I think that people get that itch, right? And they start to sweat that. But enjoy it. I'm low battery. But it is. Your challenge may be different than someone else's. So I say this all the time. The more you know before you go, the better it will be. So be physically fit, knowledgeable, study right now, watch the videos, stay on a channel like this, where we can talk about it. You can ask the questions. What's the hardest part? A great question. There's no tough part. It's all a cakewalk, says Doc. I've heard it's hard mentally and not as much physical. I agree. Again, the physical part, I was a football player, so the physical part wasn't that difficult. Getting adapted and being uncomfortable. I told you my worst part, boot camp, mornings. I wasn't a morning person. I didn't sleep all day, but I just didn't like to be woken up and yelled at first thing in the morning. Pissed me off every morning. So the mornings sucked for me. Now it's crazy because now I'm a morning person. I'm up at 4 a.m., 3:30, 4 every single morning. I slept in this morning because I told my family I'm going to sleep in. It's Father's Day. I'm sleeping in. 05. URAH. Man, what a great time. What a great time we just had. Again, this is going to be quick. I do want to show you what my producers have prepared for you. Producer, don't forget about stickers. Those of you that ordered them, please let me know. Did you receive them? Let us know in the chat. If you received them, those you ordered, thank you for the order. Here they are. You see the one? Even Rick Reynolds said, nice shirt. The shirt will be available soon as well. So check the link in our description. So I lose my voice. Appreciate y'all's support. We are traveling, remember right now, so the other, the shirts and the lanyards, those will be available very, very soon. But these stickers are great. This is the shirt that I'm wearing. This is the producer's favorite one right here. So check them all out. Almost. Order up. We'll get those out to you. Producer is working hard. Made in America, by Americans, veteran-owned business right there. Veterans supporting veterans. Shirt will be available soon. Very, very soon. Again, it was a pleasure spending Sunday, Father's Day, with all of you. God bless you all. Don't forget the prayers up for those of you that need it. And anytime, let us know. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your weekend. I know it's almost over. We'll see y'all Wednesday for another live. God bless you all, and Semper Fi, my friend. URAH.